This question I have is in reference to OA and IP infringement claims. So I got an IP claim on an item I bought from Walmart online and sold on Amazon and got a claim. First thing I did was email the person on a burner just to see if it was a legitimate email, which it was since they responded. So I proceeded to upload the Walmart receipt and plan of action. I've gotten rejected 3 times. Do I just keep trying? What exactly should I be putting in my plan of action? Am I missing something? Appreciate the Q&A videos. Thanks. So great question, Matt. So in my experience, honestly, and I actually took this section out of 5.0. I think it was in 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0 versions of the course. So I took the IP claims, the copyright claims, all that stuff in or out of 5.0 because I moved more so away from recommending reselling cashback products and coupon products back on Amazon, which is usually, not always, but usually about 95% of the time where people get IP, infringement claims or copyright claims or anything like that. So I didn't necessarily see a full need for it in this course because, like I said in the past, I'm trying to make it as streamlined as possible to get you guys the best results in the shortest time possible. So because you said you did it on a retail site and you bought it from Walmart, you should be in the clear with a lot of things, right? Ultimately, though, I have been seeing that with everything with like the coronavirus going on right now, it is a little bit more difficult to get IP claims, copyright claims, even like when you're going after something like where you need to send an invoice in to prove authenticity if they ask for it before you even get a claim or anything like that. Just if like Amazon sends you an email like, hey, we suspect this, it's taking a lot longer, number one, and it seems like it's taking a lot more tries. I don't know if that's because of the coronavirus and they have less people on staff. I don't know exactly what it is, but it seems like currently within the past month or two, it's been a little bit more difficult. And I have seen a number of different people have that issue. And, Amazon, even if you send it in and kind of keep rewording your emails to Amazon, they seem to kind of just be like, it's almost like an automated message a lot of times, more so than it used to be, okay? That's totally fine. So in that aspect, I'd recommend checking out those videos, which it sounds like you already have because you said that you've emailed from a burner, which is something I recommend in one of those videos. So if you need a refresher on those videos, I think all of those are on my YouTube channel. If you can't find them just comment below on this video or shoot me an email or whatever, comment in the Facebook group or whatever, and I will make sure that you get the links to those videos directly that can help you. So I would recommend just following that process a lot like you did, right? You said you've applied 3 times or you've emailed Amazon 3 times, I think, and gotten rejected 3 times, you said. So in that aspect, I would just keep rewording, keep sending the email in, and then eventually you're gonna get accepted. You just kind of need to show A, that you're not going away because you can reply and continuously forward that email in and your appeal as many times as possible. And B, you also need to kind of explain to them the situation because it's probably just getting auto rejected by the computer or software or something. And somebody, or even if somebody's physically looking at it, they're not necessarily, reading into it or looking at it in full. They're just assuming because it's difficult for them and it's not fully outlined, I guess, like as streamlined as possible. So a couple recommendations there. I'd recommend that A, you said you've emailed them, which it sounds like they haven't responded. Also, which it was since they did respond, actually. So they did respond. So if they're not willing to play ball, then you need to deal with Amazon. Obviously, the easiest way is to get them to play ball. Just explain to them where you sourced it, that you didn't know that there was an IP, that you were infringing on their intellectual property, even though you're not because you're allowed to sell it. But I would just try to play ball with them. If they cooperate, great. Try to get them to take down the appeal and tell them you didn't know and you won't sell their brand or their product anymore. Especially if it's like a big branded company or a big name, which it sounds like it could be because you bought it from Walmart, then they should be willing to play ball in a lot of aspects. A lot of times with big brands, they'll just file off like everybody that's ever sold it in the past like couple months. They'll hit them with an IP claim and tell Amazon, and because of that, Amazon just files claims against everybody, so they're more likely to be playing to play ball with you if they're a big brand, okay? So that's the first thing. I'd try to deal with the seller. Second thing is get yourself an IP Chrome extension. So people like IP Alert, but you have to pay for IP Alert. So what I personally recommend is Scan Unlimited's Chrome extension because it will literally show you if that brand has a history of an IP alert in the past. So get Scan Unlimited, it's free. Obviously, I love the software for sourcing wholesale, but you can also just get the free Chrome extension, and then it will literally show you on the detail page of every product listing if that has a history of IP claims on that brand, right? That'll save you a lot of hassle, but it sounds like since you're sourcing from retail websites, this shouldn't be a major issue for you. It's rare in my opinion, not just in my personal experience, but also from a lot of students that source retail. I don't see it that much, and I don't think a lot of other people do as well. So after that, the next recommendation that I would do is just keep rewording it to Amazon, right? So make sure that Amazon knows if you already try to deal with the seller and they're not willing to play ball. Obviously get yourself, the scan unlimited Chrome extension so you can avoid this more so in the future with regardless of what business model you choose. And also number 3 is make sure you reword in your email that, you sourced it from Walmart. You, most importantly, were not gated for that on Amazon, right? Because by saying that, I'm like giving you the finger when I'm doing this right here. By saying that you weren't gated and you didn't know when you checked it on Amazon, that's basically subtly implying that Amazon made the mistake and your Seller Central did not notify you that that was a gated brand or that was a gated product. So A, say that you sourced it from a legitimate site, Walmart, right? So they know your sourcing chain and it's not like you're getting it from a random place. Number 2, make sure that you say that you weren't gated for it. You checked on Amazon via Seller Central, so it implies that, Amazon was a little bit at fault. Don't say that, obviously, but just imply it, right? You checked and you weren't gated, so you assume that you could sell it, right? And then number 3, tying off that second point where you weren't gated, is say something along the lines of, because you weren't gated, you assume that you weren't infringing on anybody's intellectual property or infringing on their brand rights or their brand authority, right? And because you weren't ungated, it indicates that that brand did not go through brand registry on Amazon. And the whole point of brand registry on Amazon is so that people don't infringe on people's brands or infringe on people's products, or the whole reason that you're supposed to file brand registry and go through that process is to save Amazon time, number 1, in the back end with their reps, and also so that people know and sellers know not to sell that brand. So this brand, whatever they are, that obviously sells on Walmart, has gone around the brand registry process, and just filed off IP claims without going through brand registry. So by doing all those things, 1, with the Chrome extension, you're ensuring that you're probably going to avoid most of them in the future. Number 2, you're basically subtly implying that Amazon was a little bit at fault because Seller Central didn't tell you that you were gated for that product and that you couldn't sell it, right? So that you assume that you could, okay? And number 3, you're also implying and kind of saying at the same time that the seller just filed a bunch of IP claims which wasted a bunch of Amazon reps' time, and they have foregone going through the brand registry process and skip that altogether. So Amazon's probably going to see that in the future again with that same brand, right? So all 3 of those things are really going to give you the best bet to get and kind of catch the attention of an Amazon seller rep or seller support rep when they actually see your email, and then they're going to take it more seriously when they see those things, right? So ultimately you're trying to bypass the software, bypass, getting through that first initial process, and then get somebody that can actually help you and look at your case to actually look at your case and then take the IP claim off of your account. I went in a bunch of different directions there. I really hope that makes a lot of sense. If you need to, just rewind the video, kind of rewatch it, and then hopefully all that will make sense, right? And then if you get rejected again, it's just a simple rinse and repeat process at that point, right? Reword the email saying all of those same things and then resend it again, because at that point it's just a numbers game and you can appeal as many times as you want, okay? I hope that helps, man. It sounds like you only have 1, so the good news is, if you're sourcing retail products, it's very, few and far between on sites like Walmart and stuff like that. Get yourself the IP, the Scan Unlimited IP free Google Chrome extension so that you avoid that in the future with a lot of things. And then ultimately, if I would just keep sending it in, but I really wouldn't worry about it too much. They come off your account every 6 months anyway, so it's really not a big deal. And you probably, if you're sourcing retail products, it's not really something that you need to worry about, okay?